Hi everyone, Karen Eichten here. Thanks so much for watching my video and thanks for being here. And I want to thank all of my subscribers and the people who have been following me and watching me but not yet subscribed. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That would mean so much to me. Today we're going to be talking about some different things that actually came up for me this week, okay? So I've been taking in a lot of contracted outside work, right? And there's different things that are involved in doing that, right? They have their own system, they have their own tagging system, different things like that. And there was a few things that I thought that this video would be good for you guys because you could learn from it. You could learn from my experience and what I've experienced this week. And you can kind of be able to take your shop maybe to a new level, right? So contracted work is usually work that is done for another business or another company, and you bring it to your shop, or they deliver it to your shop and you do the work, and then they come and pick it up, or you take and deliver it back to them, right? Or you could be contracted in where you're actually in their location, and they may take a percentage of your work, or they may charge certain prices and you get a portion of it, right? So it just all depends on what it is you work out. And so a few things came up today, not today, but this week in doing so. And a contracted work is really great because you don't have to go out there and really search and hunt for more work, right? You always have a steady flow, which I call my bread and butter. So I like to have those on the back plate of my business, where I have some contracted work that I do and it's ongoing, right? So you have work that's always coming in. I call that my bread and butter. That feeds us, that takes care of the bills, that takes care of things, right? And then you have the work that you like to do that comes in the door, that is your specialty work, right? So I love doing bridal and wedding gowns and bridesmaid dresses, mother of the bride, all that stuff, suits and everything that goes along with it. But it's really nice to set your shop up as some sort of contract coming in, because it really helps you, like I said, to kind of get a baseline for your business, right? So you can make money off of your contracted work and then make money on your regular work. So it kind of helps out, right? So if you're anything like me, you want to try to take in as much work as you can, try to create as much revenue as you can. And I know it sounds, like work, and it really is work, right? But that's what makes a tailor shop. You have to be committed to do the work and to be able to turn the work around, right? And to be able to do that. So I'm going to get into some things that came up this week. Hopefully some of these things can help you. And if you like this channel, please go ahead and hit the like button, and go ahead and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when I drop a new video, each time, right? So I haven't been on for a while, so I've been really busy in my shop and doing some things for my shop, making up different worksheets and things like that I can actually log contracted work and log my own shop and different things like that, right? So it's just, it's always a process. It's always a learning process. You can't be closed-minded, and it's always, a work in progress. You really keep working at it to make it become more and more and better, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get into this right now. So know what you and your sewing shop can perform. Know what you're capable of. Not only your own skill set, what you're capable of, but know what your shop is capable of. And that means, number one, is know what type of machines you have, right? Know what type of machines that you have and what type of work you can do, right? So you want to, be used to your machines. You want to be comfortable with them. You want to know the different stitches that they can perform. You want to know what they're all capable of, right? And so once you know your machines, the type of machine that you have, what they're capable of, it's easier for you to say to a contract, to another business, that you can take on their work. Because if you can't do the right stitches, or you can't perform the right task, you can't hardly take on their work, right? So you have to know what you're capable of. So then the types of fabric that you can sew. So not every machine will sew every type of fabric, right? So depending on what type of machines you have determines what it is you can sew, right? So, and what you have set up. And maybe you have things set up for a finer type sew, and you're not willing to constantly change needles and to constantly tweak it to do the other, like denim or canvas or, boat material and different things like that, right? We want to kind of stick to our own, our own niche and kind of, fine tune our shop around that. And then if another business fits into what we can contract and actually do and perform, then it works well for us, right? So you want to make sure that you know what your machines and your skill set is to be able to do any type of contract work. And you know what what you can do, what jobs you can do, what task of alterations you can do. And if it's some other type of a sewing, what else can you do? If you're only doing embroidery, then maybe you just only stick to embroidery, right? So it just, totally depends, on what your shop is. And there's many different variations of having a sewing shop. Many people do different types of things, right? So you just have to know what your niche is and stick to it. So then number 2 is to know your turnaround time. So your turnaround time is from the moment you take something in to the time you deliver it, right? That's your total turnaround time. So you want to know what it is, right? You want to know what it is you can do, what you're capable of, not only doing it for someone, as contracted work, but you want to also relate it to the work you have coming in your front door, right? You want to know with having the contracted work and having the workflow from what you already create and bring in, can you handle it? Is your turnaround time 3 days? Is your turnaround time a week or 2 weeks? Or maybe it's even longer than that. So whatever your turnaround time is, you really need to know that, right? And we all know, like, especially in an alteration business, it gets busy at certain months and it gets less busy on other months, right? So you have to kind of know when you're going to be busy and when you're not. So then if you can say to the contractor, well, it's not busy right now because it's summertime, but then come fall or come prom season or come wedding season, I'm going to be really swamped. So I may have, for my contracted work, a little bit longer wait, right? So explain this up front. So that's why I'm giving you these tips to know what you're capable of before you start talking, that you can do other work for other people. So then, so know your turnaround time for contracted work and work that you do for other businesses. So just know, what it is you can tell them. So then number 3 is to know all the jobs that you can handle and that you can complete, right, on your own. So you want to be able to handle your shop, and do the work, mainly by yourself. And then if you have employees, then of course train them. But getting started, it's probably going to be you for a while, right? So just know the different jobs, that you know yourself that you can do. Make a list of them. Make a list of all the different tasks that you can do and know what they are. So then when someone asks you, well, can you do this? Can you do that? Well, yes, I can do that, So, just have a good idea. And then one thing that came up this week was zippers. So can you replace zippers? And not only can you replace them, but can you also repair them? So if you're doing contracted work, a lot of contracted work, especially from, outside, maybe your outside retail store or a dry cleaner or, some other type of, fabric store, or garment store, you have to know a little bit about replacing zippers or at least fixing them, right? So, and if you're going to be able to offer that, you need to know where you get your zippers from, how fast and how long does it take you to get your zippers, what colors can you get your zippers in, what size of millimeter, whatever, is the teeth, what size is the teeth going to be, can you get different sizes of the teeth in the zipper. So a lot of different things. Do you need a two-way zipper? Do you need to have access to a wholesaler that will sell you, your zippers and zipper parts, right? So you'll want to know that, and you'll want to know you know, how to go about replacing a zipper, how to put a new stop on, how to get the zipper line back up and to put a new stop on, how to put stops on the top of the zipper, and things like this, because it may be just a matter of, you know, a little fix, a little thing like that that you can repair for someone, right, and to make money off of, and it doesn't take you any time at all. You know, replacing zippers, of course, takes a little bit longer, but fixing them, you just have to know what is in your zipper parts tray, right? So I call it a zipper parts tray, where it has individual little you know, little squares in it where you can divide all of your zipper parts tray, and you have top stops and bottom stops and zipper pulls, two-way pulls, you know, all these different components that that you have on hand in case something comes in that needs to be just fixed, right? So know what you're capable of in that zipper area, if you're even going to offer zippers or not. For a long time, I didn't offer too many zippers because it's very hard to get zippers just in stock at like another fabric store, right? They don't always have the right colors. They don't always have the right lengths or the size teeth that you need. And ordering them on an ongoing basis, I mean, you would be ordering on an ongoing basis weekly to get all these different zippers, right? And it really, it costs you, because you have to buy the zipper, of course, and then you have to do the work. But you know, so it's just, there's a whole thing around zippers, and if you're going to offer them or not. And it takes a little work to come up with the zipper and to really have it on hand, especially if you're telling your contracted business that you're going to be able to offer it in 3 days. Well, it may take you 3 days to order a zipper to get the zipper, right? So you have to be a little bit careful there if you are going to offer zippers, and to know how fast you're going to get that zipper that you order, right? Because it doesn't always work out the way that we want to. We don't always get our deliveries when they say that we're going to. You know, it may be only a two-day wait, but if something happens in the mail and you don't get it, and then you've let someone down that you didn't get it done in the time frame that you promised, it's really heartbreaking, and it hurts your credibility, right? So just, I'm saying, just be a little cautious and a little careful when it comes to promising zippers. And then you should be fine, you know, and then just make sure that you know what your skill set is in the area of zippers, you know, and know where you can get them from. So then number 4 is to, you know, you can also just stock. So there's many zippers that I stock, like I stock blue jean zippers, you know, a regular brand new blue jean zipper. So I stock them. I try to stock like a nylon zipper for a dress pant. I try to stock like the basic colors, right? So like black and your dark gray and your light medium gray, and sometimes white, you know. I like to have a couple of those on hand. You know, a 7 or 9 inch zippers for pants. And so I don't stock like a lot of coat zippers. I'll do like a black, and I'll do a navy and a gray, but the rest of the colors, you know, you could wait a year to get the color that you buy, right? So you want to make sure that you stock some of the basic colors. But nowadays we're getting all these different colors of jackets, and we're getting all these different colors of things, and you could never stock the colors that you need. There's just so many different shades, so many different colors. It's really hard to have all of that on hand at one time in your shop. So just be cautious of the zipper area, and know how you can get your stock, how long it takes you to get your stock, and to know what your skill set is and how much you can do when it comes to zippers. And then your parts tray too. So make sure that you do have at least the bottom stops. That's the easy fix, you know, to be able to put a new stop on. So number 4 is how do you log your orders that you do for maybe an outside business, right? So I do both. So I log my orders on just a note tablet, on a notebook, and I also log my orders on Excel. I want to say the right word, on Excel. So it's easy to do, and it has a lot of different little squares there. So at the top of the sheet, you can, put different things in there, like the customer's name, their ticket number, the price, all these different things, the alteration that they had done, and all that stuff, So it's easy to do it online. I like doing it online, and I'm almost pulled away from doing it any other way. I do try to do my hard copy, that I keep right here in my shop, but I like logging it on the computer, because the thing of it is, you can go back and you can look, you can print that stuff out later, you can go and look up a client's phone number and have everything right there on hand, right? And it's a nice way that you're able to do some cold calling too. So say like maybe 6 months goes by, right? And then your business is slow. So you could just open that file up and do some cold calling. Hey, I did some alterations for you about 6 months ago. I was wondering if you had anything that you would like to bring to me. I'm offering maybe 10% off, or I'm offering a coupon right now, or I'm, doing, 3 pants to price of 2, or something like that. Whatever it is you make up that you want to offer. Everyone has their own way of bringing in customers. You can offer a sale or a deal, or however it is you do it. But so anyway, you could cold call. So it's really nice to have everything lined out and written down, so you can go back and market to those people later, right? And so you want to think about that. So just have some sort of a system in place that you will work from, right? That you will start logging your alterations and your clients, and keep tabs on, what they bring in and the alterations that you're doing. And it's a nice way to even write in there like what type of alteration you're doing for them, right? So then say a year from now rolls around and you're like, well, I'd like to offer some sort of a special, but I don't know what it should be, right? And so then you could go on there and see what was brought in the most, right? Like maybe replacing zippers was brought in the most, or maybe shortening sleeves was brought in the most. So you can offer some sort of a deal, like this is what these people need, so I'm going to offer a deal to my clients, right? I'm going to offer them some sort of a special, and to help bring in more of it, right? So that you just want to make sure that you do, have that in place. And then number 5, how will you contract work? How will contracted work get to you? So how will the work that needs to be done by you, how will it get to your shop, your place of business, right, where you're going to work on things? So will you be going and offering pickup and delivery, or will that other business be bringing it to you? Do they have, drivers that they can bring and drop it off to you? So those are some things to think about, not only just saying that, yes, I'll do your work. Well, okay, so how is it going to get back and forth, right? So you want to have that under wraps and know what you're capable of. If you're going to be the one that's going to be, transporting it back and forth, you want to make sure that your car is set up for it. You want to make sure that you have some plastic down, or you have a hanging rod, and you're able to do that, right? You'll need to know, are they going to put things on hangers so everything can hang up in your car, or is it going to be all put in some sort of a duffel bag type thing, or a basket, or a box, or how's it going to be transported? That's an important question to ask, right? So so learn from me, learn some of this stuff. You'll need to know that. So if you're going to pick up and deliver, you know what your car can handle, and you know if you can do it or not, right? Before you say that you can or offer that service of pickup and delivery. And then you also want to know what type of a schedule will you hold with this other business. So will you be picking up, every 3 days? Will you be picking up weekly? Will you be picking up and delivering, every 2 weeks? What is their turnaround time, and how much alterations? It's really hot in here. Sorry, guys. How much of their alterations, is going to how much of the alterations are you going to get from them? And then, just know what your pickup time is going to be, right? So you'll need to know, how much they have and how often you do need to pick up, right? If they're getting more alterations in a week, maybe you need to pick up twice a week, right? So you'll just need to know that. And then how will you transport your articles of clothing in your vehicle? So how will you? If you have a car, it may be a little bit harder, but if you have some sort of a van or a SUV, it might be a little bit easier to put some boxes in there that you'll put the bags of garments in there, or they have boxes that you can put in the back of your car. Or will you need a hanging rod? Just know what it is you're going to need. And then number 6 is, do you have a holding rack for the contracted work that's coming into your shop? Or are you going to be working out of boxes? Maybe these people are bringing the alterations to you in a box, and you won't need to have a hanging space or a hanging rod for them. So what is it you really will need? Will you need that hanging rod? Will you need a certain space in your shop separate from what you're bringing in and out of your own door? But for this contracted work, will you need a hanging space? Will you need some sort of a floor space where they're bringing in boxes and the boxes are stacked up, There for a while, I was doing contracted work from Chicago, from an actual distributor, right? And we were redoing some logo patches that they had on their thing. They came back wrong, so we had to rip out the stitches, and then they ended up having their logo on a patch that we had to sew on, right? And so it just all depends, and they came in boxes, right? So they were just stacked up in boxes. And so it just depends on how that contracted work is coming to you. Will you need floor space? Will you need a hanging rack and all of that? Just know what it is in your shop that you'll need so you can accommodate it, right? Let's see what else. So have a separate holding space for that. We talked about that. And still making sure that your shop stays orderly. So you don't want, like, when in your front door, you come in your front door and you have all of this garble, that you're contracting work, and it's like in your own customer's way, right? Or it looks really bad. So you want to have that stuff that's kind of out to the side or off to the side, that, your main customers, it doesn't interrupt their coming in and out, right? You want to make sure that it's free and clear for them to come in and out. And not everybody needs to know about what it is you do, right? And who you're doing work for. So sometimes it's nice to even have it a little bit hidden, especially if it has labels or names on the bags or boxes and things like that. So it just a little bit of business privacy, right? And so you'll want to, be aware of that too, that someone doesn't come in and say, hey, she's doing work for such and such, and why don't you, another seamstress try to go and take it over, So you want to make sure that you protect yourself a little bit when you do have contracted work coming in and out of your shop. It's just a part of business, and, you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your own income, right? So that's really all that I have for you today. I hope these tips helped you. I know, from before, I did a lot of contracted work from before, and it just, you just have to know what you can handle, basically. You have to know what you want to do, too, right? So there's some jobs out there that I really don't want to do, right? I don't want to work on Carhartts anymore, and I don't want to work on really heavy fabrics and drapes anymore, right? It's really hard on your hands. And I don't want to do that type of work anymore. So it's what you will do too, right? So maybe, you want some of the more gravy work. You want some of the fast turnaround work, which is fine. But just know in your own heart what it is you like to do, what it is you don't like to do, what you will do, and just kind of go from there, right? And then you should be able to do just fine. So if you have any questions about anything, please go ahead and leave the comment in the comments below. You could also private message me if you'd like to talk in more detail. And you can also book a call with me. If your sewing shop is struggling and you're like, what should I do? How can I start making more income? How do other people go about doing it? And how come I'm sitting here with nothing and other tailor shops are just jam full and packed and a lot of things going in and out of there? you know, book a call with me. Let's fine tune your shop so you're able to make the income that you deserve. Okay. So thanks so much for watching. Again, my name was Karen Eichten. Please hit the bell icon to subscribe to this channel. I would love to see you here again. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day and you're staying a little bit cool. It's very hot here today. And I hope you guys are all being healthy and safe. And I'll be praying for all of you for your safety and things. And so thank you so much for my subscribers. I love each and every one of you. And I'll talk to you all in the next video. Bye-bye now.